All righty.
All righty. Well, thank you guys for joining us for our December Unite for CRT Town Hall meeting. Um, I'm really excited about this topic. It's surviving the holidays, and obviously this year is a completely different year, so everybody's having to do things a little bit differently and try to navigate what can still be a fun holiday season. So um, I hope you enjoy some of the suggestions and ideas and thoughts that we have to share with you tonight. I see mostly a lot of familiar faces, which is great. But if there's any new people out there, thank you so much for joining us. We love to have you and can't wait to have you come back for some future meetings. Just a quick background on Unite for CRT. A group of us got together. I get to go to Washington, D.C. almost every year to do some advocating for complex rehab technology. And unfortunately, we didn't get to all be together this year. So it's so good that we can at least see people's faces on Zoom calls and events like this. So that at least helps. But a group of us wanted to create a group so that we could keep the ball rolling per se when we weren't all together in DC and figure out a way that we can still advocate for complex rehab technology even when we were away from Washington DC and making it last long term. So we developed a group, but it really grew into something so much more than just advocating. And that's what's been kind of my favorite part about this. It's been really cool. It's been more of a network group and I guess you could say a support group in a way, just where people can get together and have open and lively discussions about topics that really matters to people with disabilities. We've done a lot of great discussions on, how we can utilize assistive technology every day in our lives, a good way to manage caregiver teams, um, utilizing service dogs in your everyday life. I mean, well, we have had covered some really great topics, and tonight again we have another fun one on tap, and it's to how we're trying to survive these holidays right now. And Karen Roy was going to join us. I hope she still gets to. So I'm going to go ahead and get started for us though, and just kind of give you guys a little walkthrough of a couple of the things that when we met last week to get ready for tonight, a couple of things that really popped up for us that I thought was really interesting. Her and I were very similar on a lot of the things that we were doing, but I also got some great ideas from her as well. So I was just going to kind of let you guys know a couple of things that we were doing. Karen and I were going to do it more of a discussion, but until she pops on, I'll just give you guys a couple of the ideas that we came up with, and then I would love to open it up and have all of us talk, talk about what we're doing, talk about how we're surviving this different 2020 and how we're still trying to make it, a fun holiday season. So basically kind of the way it started for me is I couldn't put up my Christmas decorations soon enough. I just needed to get those Christmas decorations up. My husband was going to kill me because literally every week I was, Eric, what about those Christmas decorations? Eric, what about those Christmas decorations? I needed to have something fun in my life, and I love Christmas no matter what year we are in. So my house looks like a Christmas winter wonderland. So that's why I kept asking my husband, when are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? We finally did it the day after Thanksgiving, which I would have liked to have done a little bit sooner. But with our work schedules, it didn't, happen as quickly as I would have liked. But one thing that we did do, since I am working from home, is we decorated the office. I have like a little Charlie Brown tree sitting on my desk right next to where I'm at. And that really kind of just got me in a really good spirit every morning. I would come in to start my day and turn on the Christmas tree, and that just kind of put me in a really good place. So, and again, I love Christmas music. I love Christmas. I love Christmas movies. I love everything there is to love about Christmas. And so during the day when I'm not on Zoom calls and I'm building rundowns for shows that I produce, I'm just listening to Christmas music on Pandora, playing stuff on YouTube, and it's just really trying to keep my spirits up because, working from home can be somewhat depressing. It can be quiet. It can be lonely. So those are things that I've done just to try to keep my spirits up. And, in the evenings, I love to watch Christmas movies. I am a Hallmark junkie. I will gladly say that I am a Hallmark junkie. But I love all the classics too. I love Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, The Grinch. I can't tell you how many Christmas movies I have watched just in the last probably 2 to 3 weeks. And that just really helped keep my spirits up too, you know. It's just a way to try to stay in that holiday spirit, even though things might seem a little bit different. And, you know, things that are different this year is we can't all get together in these big gatherings. And that's probably the one thing that I'm absolutely going to miss the most is those big gatherings. Thankfully, I guess you could say thankfully, my immediate family, they're all staying home, remote learning, remote work, everything. So we're still able to see each other, but you know, our bigger extended family, friends can't do the things that we usually do. So some of the things that we've tried to do are those virtual gatherings, you know, the virtual game nights. We even did a virtual baking event, which was really, really cool. I think that's something that could be, sounded like it could be a little tricky, but it was a lot of fun, you know, share recipe ideas and do things like that. So that was a lot of fun. And with my family, every year we do an ugly sweater party with a white elephant gift exchange. That's something that's been really, really big for us. And it's not just big for our family, but we usually would have a bunch of family friends there. So again, this year we can't do that. We can't have that extended party. So we decided to have a very small version with just our immediate family, just my parents, just my sister's family and my husband. And we're going to keep those traditions alive, because traditions, I feel like, are something that we really need to focus on this time of year. Because even though things are being done a little bit differently, we can still do our best to make those events, those traditions, those happenings, still something really exciting. So, you know, even though we don't get to do the fun big white elephant gift exchange and you have no idea what the heck you're going to get, we're still doing it, but within our family. And it's actually, honestly, it might be a little bit more fun. I'm not going to lie, because we're really, you know, like my husband and I picked out a gift and we're like, oh my goodness, my nephew Dylan has to get this. We want Dylan to get this gift because it will just be so funny. We can think of it more personalized, because when you're in a big group, you don't know these people very personally all the time. And so that's a lot of fun. And even my niece and nephew, they have went leaps and bounds to find their white elephant gifts that they want to exchange with us. So again, it's still just trying to look at those positives that you don't really, it's hard to still appreciate that you don't get to do those things, but still look at the positives on ways you can still enjoy them. One thing that Karen and I really talked about was, unfortunately, we don't get to see some of those family members this year, whether they're, you know, far away, whether it's just because we need to keep our distance. And some of them are in either retirement facilities, nursing homes, and those are really hard. My mother-in-law, she lives not in a nursing facility, but she lives in a retirement facility. And it's still an area that I didn't feel comfortable going to gather in, just because of the situation of what it is. And she didn't feel comfortable. She's in her 70s and she didn't want to get around our family as well. So like on Thanksgiving, we went and dropped off Thanksgiving dinner to her. That way she could still have a meal, and that way she could still feel included. It wasn't the way we would have liked to have done it. A really good thing that Karen talked about was, you know, the convenience of Amazon. She was still able to get gifts to people that lived in those nursing homes or in those facilities, or family that you just couldn't get around. So, and that's something that I've been doing too, is getting those gifts out to family and friends that we don't get to see. And Amazon makes it so easy, because I did have to ship some stuff separately. Let me tell you, going to the post office this time of year is a pain in the tush, and it's expensive. So I am a huge fan of Amazon. It is a great way to do things. So another thing that, you know, we really like to try to do is go out and enjoy all the Christmas activities that's going on. And we can't do that this year, and it's really hard, because I love going to look at Christmas lights. We have a botanic garden here in Denver, and we always go to it's called the Blossoms of Light. And that's something that we do traditionally. And there's a big hotel right outside of Denver, and they host some really spectacular holiday events. None of that we could do this year, but we did go through a drive-through light display. And that was really, really fun. At first, I thought it might be kind of cheesy. It might not be that great, but we actually really embraced it and had a great time with it. We went and picked up coffee and hot chocolate and took it with us in the car. And my nephew came dressed as Ralphie from the Christmas Story. And we just tried to make the best out of an event that might not have been as fun, but it was still a lot of fun. So, the best thing that I could say is this time of year, and for specifically 2020, is maybe we will be able to appreciate some new traditions that might get started. You never know what that might be. For me, the white elephant gift and the ugly sweater party, it might just stay an exclusive tight family event moving forward. Or you might find another event that becomes traditional for you guys. And it's also, for me, I'm used to going 150 miles an hour, whether that's running from Christmas parties or Christmas gatherings or different events. And this year, you don't get that opportunity, but you can appreciate that time that you have, whether it's, just at home or if it's with immediate family. Really appreciate those times, because once things pick back up, we might not get those times again. So it's creating those new memories, creating those new traditions, and hopefully still enjoying the traditions of the past. So those were a lot of the things that Karen and I came up with. And hopefully that, gives you guys some ideas, or maybe you guys are doing similar stuff. But I would love to hear kind of what everybody else is doing, how we're surviving the holiday season. Does anybody have any suggestions or thoughts or things that they have done that's been really fun for, you as an individual with your family and friends?
I'm looking forward to being in Dream Adapt. It starts January 3rd, and it's an adaptive ski program, downhill ski program, and then they also have cross country. I think they use sit skis for the cross country for people in wheelchairs.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. Yeah, I ski and I haven't been able to ski this season just because a lot of the ski resorts are closed down in Denver. So I'm missing that as well. So I don't blame you. That'll be a fun event. Anybody else doing anything, whether it's virtual with your family or friends, or getting out to those drive-through light displays, or doing anything that's different this time of year?
I'll stay close to home. My dad lives like 30 minutes and he decorates. It's like Christmas vacation house. Like they have like their driveway, you go up and it's not a drive-through. So you have to turn around to come back out. It's like a little narrow street and there's cars lined all the way up the highway just to get up there. He built a life-size nativity scene with the stable and the manger and Joseph and Mary. He cut all and the wise men and shepherds, and he had like little sheep and stuff around, and he put spotlights on it. And so we'll probably do that. My husband is a police officer and he's working through Christmas, so it's going to be quiet for us. So, and Thanksgiving was quiet. My grandmother is 95 and had a heart attack, so we're all being really good about not going to see her because she's so compromised, but she still lives by herself, so she won't come live with anybody or let us come live with her. They're like, nope, I can do it. I'm like, okay. I mean, I ain't telling her no. I can't. No, you need to come here because she can get a hickory switch after me.
Right.
So.
Well, that's nice that you get to, be with your dad, and that sounds like he really decorates nicely, and, hopefully your grandma does well. So that sounds like you guys are making the best out of what you can, so that's great.
Yeah, being in for 8 months straight and only being allowed to go to doctor's appointments for my MS treatment. So the walls are kind of closing in about now. And I told my husband, I was like, we are not celebrating New Year's Eve. We are just going to go right ahead and just sleep on through. And maybe 2021 will be much better.
Yeah, that's, I think, what everybody's really kind of hoping for, is just seeing what 2020 is going to bring, and if it will be a little bit better, because I think everybody is tired of being locked in. I know that I am, because I'm in a very similar situation. I'm going to work one day a week and that is it. couple other little things here and there for work, but everything else is for appointments, and that's about it. So it does get hard, you know. And so one night we're just gonna go hop in the car and just go look at some more Christmas lights. You know, that's something that's
Yeah.
very simple that can be done, and you know, we can be safe doing it. And even in a regular year, I get a lot of joy out of that. So I think
Yeah.
I'll enjoy it, you know, even more. But it is hard. It is hard right now because we're all
I'm a
tired.
channel junkie too. Like my DVR is full of Christmas movies that I've recorded, and my husband's like, "Really? How many Christmas movies can you watch?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, there'll be more because it's all through the end of the month into next year." And he's like, "Oh my." So
Nope.
yeah,
That's how I am. And you know, another good thing is I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Hallmark actually has a app where you can go through a checklist and check off all of the Christmas movies that you've seen and what you haven't seen. So me and my girlfriend are literally sharing the app and being like, "What about this one? Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? How about this one?" You know,
Yep.
and rank our favorite ones. So that's been a way to do it too. Obviously, we can't watch the movies quote unquote together, but we're kind of discussing what our favorites are and what's been missed and what, you know, what I've seen, what she hasn't seen. And so that's been fun too.
I need to get on that app, Jenny.
It's pretty
It's
fun.
all-
I actually thought about you when you asked, you know, what's a good Hallmark movie out there? I still say that one's still my favorite. The Christmas Stars.
they
but-
are. They're all good. It doesn't matter. I mean, and I just watched one from 2014 this morning, like at 6 o'clock. I had seen it up several times, and I watched it again.
Yep.
Come on, they don't get old.
I
Sounds
totally
like a
agree.
slippery slope.
My husband works third shift, so see, I have the TV all night if I want to. So see, when he leaves, the channel goes to the Hallmark channel.
Yep, if there's not something I have scheduled to watch or that I want to watch this time of year, it definitely just goes to the Hallmark channel. And my husband walks in and he's like, "Again?" And I'm like, "Oh, not again." This is what happens through the month of December.
Yeah, the guys
I know.
definitely don't like it.
Chris is an outdoorsman. He's involved in a lot of sports. Are you doing anything really exciting right now, Chris?
I'm trying to get some skiing in, but we don't have a ton of snow right now. So, like, I went skiing on Sunday or Saturday, and I had grass on my bindings. So,
Wow.
there was snow, but it was getting kind of thin.
Yeah.
Where do you live, Chris?
I live in Maine.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised you don't have snow by now.
Our ski mountain is open, but it just opened last week.
Ours have been open, and it's been cold enough here. I live in North Carolina. It's been cold enough here that some of the ski places have been able to make snow, plus have the natural snow. And we're getting more bad weather starting tonight. So
Yeah, that's kind of how it is in Colorado. Some of them are starting to open up again, and some of them have started. And the majority of them, I think, are the bigger ones are open now. And I think they're kind of operating on the you know, the real stuff, none of the, you know, the fake snow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like the resorts are so far at least open, and I've seen some different people on social media out there skiing and everything. And I would love to. I need so much assistance when I ski. I have to be really up close and personal with people, so I'm still not doing that one yet. And I would really love to. We always go tubing as a family every year, and that's a really fun thing that I can do. That's something easy to do. But again, until we kind of see what happens and how things are going, that might not happen again this year. So just going sledding maybe in the backyard. I don't know.
you should check out North Carolina. They have a tubing place here where you can tube down the French Broad River, which is our big river here in North Carolina.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
There's a place in Colorado that we really like to go to. It's called the Fraser Activity Hill, and it's right outside of it's right around Breckenridge. And oh my goodness, that place is awesome. It has like a magic carpet that I can stay in the tube and I can sit on it, and it'll take you all the way up the mountain, and then my family will just have to pull me just a short distance to actually get to the top of where we go down. But we like to do that. And as my niece and nephew have gotten older, we're like, "Hey guys, you can pull Auntie, let's go." And so they enjoy doing that. And so we do have fun doing that. I hope that that's something maybe we could do later in the winter season if vaccines start to go well and all of that good stuff. So hopefully that's something we can do. But my niece and nephew did make a little man-made sledding hill at their house, and they want to put me on it. They're like, Auntie, you can sit in the polar bear tube. You'll be fine.
Famous last words. You'll be
Yeah.
fine.
You'll be
And
fine.
around my nephew, it's like, okay, we'll
What's
see.
the worst that could happen?
Well, I'll let you guys know next month because I'll probably get on there and do it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get my daughter out skiing this year too. In the past, we've done Challenge Aspen, which is an amazing program. She uses a sit ski.
Yeah.
And closer to here to Grand Junction, where we live, Powderhorn Ski Resort, they do some stuff as well. I'm not sure if they're going to be offering it this year, but I would so love to still get her out, you know, maybe in January or so. And it sounds like their protocols are really good. So I think that would really lift her spirits to get her out there.
Yeah,
She
I
would
agree.
love that.
I'm former
Yeah.
neurologist. I'm former neurologist that I was going to go bungee jumping in my wheelchair, and he was like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really want to." I was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it'd be fun." I said, "And zip lining." Also, they have a wheelchair you can go scuba diving in. That really I want to do, but yeah.
See,
Those are-
I would do all of those, but the cold weather, I'm good.
Yeah,
I like to sit by the fire and watch the snow fall. I'm good with that.
cold weather either. So
We're getting a big storm tomorrow night, like 2 feet of snow.
wow.
That's a
I'm
lot.
not ready for it.
Ugh. I bet.
Tina, did you get moved?
Nope. That's why I have no video, because my Wi-Fi is so spotty. Where got stuff moved in, but we haven't signed the final papers to actually stay there yet. So now I'm living between two houses. It's great. So I have a suitcase packed here, so I have clothes still here, but the big stuff is all moved to the new house. So yeah, it's been fun. We're hoping to be in and settled by Christmas, but who knows?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
I think it should be a table session. Now, with this year being crazy, it's really a great time.
How about anybody else? Anything you're trying to do to keep the spirits up, whether it's, you know, visiting with family virtually or anything different, any new traditions you're hoping that will come up this year?
It did kind of stink. This is Amy. I go to a Christmas party every year where we exchange cookies, cookie exchange party, and
Yes.
we didn't get to have it this year because of COVID. But my hope is our entire family, both sides, will actually be able to see one another. We did not get to do that at Thanksgiving because my husband's brother and his family had COVID, and then my sister and her family were in quarantine. Did never get it, thank goodness, or I don't know how, but anyway. So hopefully, I'm avoiding crowds because I want to be with my people, you know?
100%. That's how I am too. We're just trying to keep a low profile. I wanted to go get my hair done so bad. That's all I wanted to do was go get my hair done. And I told my mom I had an appointment, and she was like, "If you go, you know we can't be around everybody." And I was like, "I know." So I didn't get to go get my hair done. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Jenny.
Well, I heard that you could, I haven't tried it. My hair is so long. That you could just take it up into a ponytail and tie it and then kind of just cut it, and then it comes out pretty good.
So that's what I've heard. I've heard a bunch of different people doing that, and it's actually turned out pretty good. My sister actually did that for my niece. She was like, "Well, you're not seeing a lot of people right now, so if it doesn't go well, it's going to be okay. No one's going to."
Anybody wants a good laugh, go on Google COVID haircuts and all the people who didn't do so well with cutting their own hair.
All I can say is my hairdresser's going to kill me because I've already taken the scissors to my bangs, and I did that one time before and got them a little too short. And so I rescheduled. I was supposed to go last week to get my hair done, but because I'd already cut my bangs, I was afraid to go. So I canceled it and rescheduled it till January, just so she won't hurt me. because she threatened life before. You know, even when I went to the Bahamas, she was like, do not let them do those braids because your hair will fall out by the roots. And if you do, I will shave your head because it damages your hair. I was like, okay. So,
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting time for hairdos for sure. But speaking of hairdos, a fantasy football show that I produce every year, we do a Christmas tradition, and our host, she has long, long hair, and she wore her hair like Cindy Lou Who from The Grinch, and I was like, how did you get that to work? And her trick was, I'm spilling her trick to all of you guys, but she put a Solo cup on her head upside down. And molded, like pulled her hair up over the Solo cup, and it kept it in place. Like her hair stayed like that for an entire hour show, and in TV world, we were taping for like 2 hours, and her hair was rock solid. Like when we got done, I was like, Katie, how did you do that? And she's like, I'll do the trick. So I just told you guys the trick too. So that's something fun to try. When we do our ugly sweater party, I'm totally gonna try to rock the Cindy Lou.
You could do a 2-liter bottle of soda because the top of the soda bottle holds the scrunchie on. So it holds it and it makes it all nice and waterfally look at the top, and it stays nice with a good hairspray. Works great.
That's awesome too. See, so many good ideas to try. I love it.
You guys, be sure you take note of the hair tips. Bill,
It's noted.
Bill, you could try that one.
Just
Arbor.
put the hat on. You're good to go.
Yeah, see, I wear hats.
We'll deal
My
with it next year.
I get him to cut my hair, but I won't. Like, no, Dad, sorry, not doing it. Love you, mean it. Nope, not to.
It's hair. It grows back. Just shave it. You can wear a wig of any color, any style, anytime
I
you
thought
want.
about.
I do it every now and again. People like nope, got to start over because I messed it up again. So just shave it, wear a wig, wear nothing. Who cares? It's hair. It grows back.
Right? It does. It totally does.
So does anybody have any must-have gifts they've been looking for and can't find, or must-haves that you've looked for and you can find? What's the going thing this year?
I send my husband a text with gift ideas, like your wife might want this Instapot one day, sometime, for
Yes.
anniversary. So I send him text message when I find something I want, and I'm like, your wife, or I get his sister to do it. I'm like, well, you put a bug in your brother's ear. This is what I really want. Now, whether I get it or not, I don't know. So,
That's
but he's
awesome.
just his, and it, ticks me off. I'm like, you just spoil everything, but so.
My only wish, though, for real, is we didn't see family. Texas is a little bit different for you guys than, that's where I am. And so we're not locked down, and, you just have to, the kids are going to school, and, everybody's doing just fine, to be quite frank. We do still have a few cases, obviously, but my only wish is just to get to see my family. That's all I care about. For
Mine,
this,
and our governor here in North Carolina, sorry, he's an idiot. He's locking us down again. And so all our little cute mom and pop shops are shutting down because they can't afford to stay open. So, I just want to see family. I really want to go see my grandmother and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, here in Rhode Island, we're locked down again because we're up to like 7% spread rate or something. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I think North Carolina hit 2,000 cases. I think that's what I heard today in all of North Carolina. And it's up in Buncombe County where I live, but I don't remember the numbers, but it is up. So, and that's why I get the lecture from my neurologist not to go anywhere. So I'm stuck.
Well, we're not officially like on lockdown here in Colorado, but I know we're definitely teetering. We're higher in a lot of cases than we were back in March and April when we were actually officially on a lockdown. So I guess it could kind of happen at any point. Thus far, we're not, but a lot of people most schools aren't in person. Most people are encouraged to work from home if you can. So, I mean, we're not fully on a lockdown, but all in-person dining is not an option anymore. And it's really hard to dine outside in Colorado when it's, 30 degrees outside when you want to try to go out to dinner. So
Yeah.
options are definitely limited here. And I think, and again, it could literally change any day.
Well, our restaurants are, I believe, open at 50%. Our bars are closed, which, honestly, I think that's good, but I won't go eat in a restaurant.
Yeah,
I just pick up and bring it home.
that's all I've done. I don't feel comfortable doing the in-person dining even when it was an option. So we would just do takeout and eat it at home. That's where we felt the safest. And again, like we kind of started to appreciate that, we could really have good dinner conversation, and we had a small gathering with our neighbors, and we try to do like a monthly dinner. And again, we haven't been able to go anywhere, but we just had one a couple of weeks ago, and it was so nice. Like we could have great conversations. We had our own music playing in the background, which was Christmas, by the way. And it was just so nice because we were able to literally create our own environment, but still get the food that we wanted. So there is those positives that you can take away from it.
Well, I called my doctor because I'm immunocompromised and about a vaccine. And they said, well, you don't know anything, but you can call the governor. So I called the governor, and then they have a COVID task force in Montana. And so I have a personal contact I can call to get on the list for a vaccine. I'm sure it's not going to be right now because they're just doing nursing homes and healthcare workers, but that are actively involved.
Yeah,
And
my
so-
neurologist told me today to definitely get the vaccine, even though I'm immunocompromised too with MS. And so I just like, did I get this vaccine or no? And he's like, yes, get it. I'm like, okay, I'll get it.
Yeah, and my doctor also told me to get all the pneumonia vaccines too, even though I
Yeah.
had gotten them 5 years earlier. She said every 5 years. And then I got pneumonia 23 this year, and I'm supposed to get pneumonia 13 next year. So
Yeah, I've been doing the pneumonia shots, and luckily I haven't had pneumonia since I was a kid. So it's done quite well, but it's
My husband was both very sick we both got sick last Christmas night last year, and they said COVID wasn't here then, and he was totally in the bed, and he never does that. And I was just out. I just could, but my fever got up to almost 104, and I went to the urgent care, and they're like, and I was dehydrated, and I drained 2 IV bags in less than 5 minutes. That's how dehydrated I was. And they said, oh, it's just a really bad upper respiratory infection. Well, then they come out with the symptoms, and I'm like, I have those symptoms. And then now they're saying that COVID was here in November, December of last year.
yeah,
And
it was.
And I literally thought there were a couple of times I was going to die. I've never been so scared in all my life. Because it's pretty bad when you can hear the gunk rattling in your lungs. So I called my best friend who's a nurse. I was like, it's a bad thing if I can hear that, right? And she's like, do you have your stethoscope? And I'm like, no, I'm just sitting here and I can hear gunk rattling in my lungs. And she goes, yeah, that's kind of bad. You probably need to go back. And then I got pneumonia on top of it. So, yeah, it's
Not
not
good.
You
And what's Cody wanting for Christmas?
Are you asking me?
Yeah,
What's Cody wanting for Christmas?
yeah.
Well, she hasn't really come out and said she would love an Apple Watch, but she's not getting that. Well, for one, she just wouldn't have enough access to be able to get that for her. But let me close the door.
ooh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, can't give away the secrets.
I love secrets. That's my favorite.
She loves crafting and creating. She's trying to make her own business. It's one of them is called Cody's Life, which she sells a lot of different things, and that's her YouTube channel. And then the other one is Let's Tie Dye with Cody. And so we've been making tie-dye shirts. So I bought her a Cricut.
Ooh, yeah.
And so
Ooh,
she can do
that's good.
iron-ons and all kinds of things. And
Nice.
yeah, so I think that'll be really fun for
So
her.
she's got her own YouTube channels.
Yeah, her YouTube channel is called Cody's Life, CODI' Life. And she, yeah, so we're kind of still working on things. She's making a website and she really wants to be an entrepreneur. So we're just trying to encourage that somehow.
How old is she?
14.
14, okay.
Well,
She has cerebral palsy and she uses a communication device and a wheelchair and feeding pump, but she is smart as a whip and we just try to make it work. She tells me how to wear, like tonight, she made tie-dye t-shirts for her teachers for Christmas presents. And then she got this bulb maker for where she just puts a marker on it and it spins. So she makes Christmas bulbs for the Christmas tree.
Ooh.
wow.
She made those for her teachers. And she was telling me exactly how we had to package them, exactly how we had to put them together. And I was like, I can't handle any more of this perfectionism. But what I realize is that she just has this mind, this creative mind. And it was just really cool to see her putting that all together and really wanting to do something special for her teachers.
And she sees it perfectly, doesn't she?
Oh gosh, yeah. And she's done that her whole life where she's been very creative. And though she might not have the access to do it herself, she tells me exactly what to do. It's the coolest thing.
That's awesome.
I love
So
that.
on her YouTube channel, what does she talk about?
Well, one of the videos she made a couple years ago where she was introducing her family and we went down to a restaurant and there's a couple of videos that from like Taco Bell when she's using the big menu displays. Obviously this is pre-COVID. She did a YouTube class at our local community college a few years ago and they were doing some different types of videos. And we're working on editing some more stuff right now from some different adventures that we've been on, and editing just takes so long and I'm not very good at it. So so she's doing that. And yeah, she's excited for Christmas. She's like, when is there going to be more presents under the tree?
Yeah, the older they get, it seems like the fewer presents because everything they get costs so much more.
Exactly. And I told her that. I said, this year there's not going to be, 15 presents under the tree. But we'll be able to hopefully see her grandma and grandpa, my folks. And then we probably won't be able to see my sister this year because they have COVID going on in their world. So that's a bummer, but we'll do some FaceTime with them and still trying to keep a few traditions going and trying to make things still positive and happy for her because she's tired of being sequestered as well. And so just trying to brainstorm new things.
Give her a hug for me. I have cerebral palsy too. And
Okay.
when I got it only affected my lower extremities, and my grandparents raised me, and that's what they taught me. You can do whatever you want to do. Just do it. It was, you're going to go to school, you're going to get an education, you're going to do that, you're going to be able to support yourself. And so that's awesome that she is that creative. And so give her a hug for me.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, she's very motivated. And we did a TED Talk in March. So that kind of outlined some of how her assistive technology helps her. And we're just hoping that maybe we can get into the schools and do some other talking about accessibility and some other advocacy work. So we're pretty busy, which is good.
You can get into the schools by using your YouTube channel. That's how my organization has still been going into the schools. The teachers that I know are using my videos and using them as teaching tools virtually.
That's awesome.
So it's something the kids could always refer back to. What are you using for editing, by the way?
iMovie.
I love iMovie. It's so quick and easy.
Yeah. It's just a matter of me sitting down and doing it. And she does a lot of her editing herself, which is pretty cool. And we realized that editing on the iPad is easier than on the Mac. And so that gives her a little bit more access. It's just taking the time to do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
We've got a video editing expert here, Bill.
Oh, Bill. Hi, Bill. I see.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said we have a video editing expert with us.
That's what I've been told.
Yep, he does a great job. So you might could get some tips from Bill.
He's too humble,
He is humble.
very humble. He's a rock star.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's
Also a
awesome.
Christmas movie junkie.
And also,
That's
I
awesome.
love that. My husband, it's funny, he's been off staying at home since March, and it's time for him to go back to work, like outside. Instead of being with me, I've always worked from home through NARTS. But anyway, we left our dogs in the living room, and I always turn it on Hallmark during the day. And anyway, he came in here just a little bit ago and said, you know why Reggie is my male miniature dachshund, is acting crazy and being whiny, right, babe? And I'm like, no. He goes, because he wants you to turn the channel on Hallmark. He is tired of Hallmark movies. Like, the dog can't tell. So anyway, my husband is an anti-Hallmarker, but
Yeah, so is mine, Amy. I have a Chiweenie. I have a Chihuahua Dachshund mix.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I've created a monster with this one. Yeah.
I like to use my dog too. I'll tell my husband, Riley wants to watch it. I can't help that Riley wants to watch the Hallmark Channel. I can't help that Riley wants to listen to Christmas music.
Yeah, Riley was less than amused the other day, though, Jen.
What's that?
He was less than amused the other day in your picture.
He was not thrilled that because our office is like his playroom, and that's where we had all of our Christmas decoration tubs. And yeah, no, he was definitely not amused. Like he was literally like sweating and pouting. It was great.
I've got a new Hallmark movie lined up to watch after we do our thing here. It must have just come out. You know how it pops up the app. Yeah, I guess I do have that Hallmark app.
Yeah, the Hallmark.
So it just popped up and I started watching it earlier and I thought, I stopped it. I told my husband, I said, you're going to want to see this one. It's the mother who was the country singer, and her and her daughter are estranged, but they get back together to sing again.
The Christmas at Dollywood?
No, I can't remember the name of it. Have y'all seen that one yet?
One I haven't seen.
Haven't seen it either.
It
Yeah,
reminds me of the show Nashville. Did y'all ever watch Nashville?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. So I thought, I'm going to have to.
The movie Christmas in Dollywood, I think, was filmed last year, and they actually have a girl in the movie that is in a wheelchair because my best friend has a special needs child, and she knows this little girl, and they saw her in the park one day and picked her to be in the movie.
What's the name of it?
It's called Christmas at Dollywood, or
Oh,
Christmas
okay.
Dollywood, or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Isn't it a Dollywood Christmas?
maybe that's it. Maybe it's a
Oh,
Dollywood.
okay.
I can't.
Hey,
Yeah.
Beth, we want to say hi to Beth. It's been a while since she's been with us. She's muted right now.
Did anybody watch Christmas Ever After with Ali Stroker?
I haven't got to see that yet. I wanted to.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see it yet either.
That sounds like a good one. How's it going, Beth?
Amy got
It's
Ryan.
going good. Staying busy
Sure, I
in my
gave it to him.
house. It's been a
Well,
different year for me as well. So
Very
I lost my
sorry
dad
this
in 2018 on
spirit is
Christmas
taken.
Day. So
Okay.
it's been a rough year for me. But it's okay. It's you know, you kind of get through life, and I go on. And for me, I live in a house by myself, so when I need to get out and see different scenery, I get out and see different scenery. So and I have 2 dogs that travel with me when I want to take them with me. So I think me and my dogs are going to go Christmas light looking here Thursday night or Friday, because we're expecting a snow rain mix tomorrow. So tomorrow night may not be a good time to go out. So
That's what they're calling for here tonight and tomorrow here. So
yeah, we just got done. Restaurants just got to open up again and dine in, and I caught all that at the beginning, so sorry. Or when I came on. But we're at 50%. I haven't been inside a restaurant but a couple of times since all this happened. But some people, it's funny, I've got some people that understand why I'm staying put, and I have others like, well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? And I'm like, haven't spent a bit of it being in a wheelchair. I'm a little more compromised. Can't be out. Sorry.
Not gonna do it.
No.
But I do crafts and things like that. Keeps me busy. I quilt. I do embroidery work. Make jewelry. So, things like that keep me busy.
Crafts are a good way to do it. I think that's a great idea. Like what Jen was saying, she's doing with Cody. Those are good ways to pass the time and still be creative. So I think that's great.
Right. And I have a wound on my leg, and I'm trying to get healed up, and so I go to wound care. It's funny whenever you get excited because you go to wound care. It's like you get to see somebody.
There's actually people there.
Exactly. They get so tickled at me because I get so excited, and they all were asking me back at Thanksgiving. They were telling me what they were going to do, and most of them were downsizing of what they normally do, like you all were talking about. And they said, what are you going to do? And I said, well, it's going to be my 2 dogs and my 2 cats and me. I said, I'm going to fix me a traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm going to have Thanksgiving dinner. So I fixed me a turkey and all the fixings and got to eat on it for about a week. So
Yep.
Good for you, though.
Beth, do you sell your goods anywhere on Etsy or anything?
I did have a page that I was selling stuff, but I haven't put anything back on it recently. I need to get out in my garage because I've got a box out there that's got a bunch of stuff that's done that I need to be putting back on there. So, especially so that if we're able to travel again in 2021, so I was supposed to go to DC and advocate there in the Capitol, like back-to-back trips, so of course that didn't get to happen, and so I need to get it back up so that I can start getting some money set aside for that kind of stuff.
What's the name of your store or your Etsy?
It's Nanny Bee's Boutique.
What's it called?
Nanny Bee's Boutique, and it's BS. It's B''S.
Oh, okay. We'll have to look it up.
That's awesome.
I helped raise my cousins, and they called me Nanny Bee. So that's where the Nanny Bee came from. And now that they're older in their 20s, they call me Aunt Bee. So
Oh, that's perfect.
it is, and I'm missing them because I haven't gotten to see them since February. So it's like, it's just this virus has just changed everything, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy. But who would have ever thought that something like this would have changed the world? And that's what has happened. It's changed the world right now.
Does anybody find that some of it good because you have a really good excuse to stay away from some people you don't want to be around with?
Yes. Yes, I totally do.
You know what? You're getting to find out how strong marriages are, because now that you're like really stuck with them, do you really like your kids? Do you really like your
That is true.
It's like you're getting a preview if you could actually retire with these people later on.
Oh. Yeah.
Well,
my situation is very different because I'm in the country and we have land all around me, and I live with a pod of people, really, because there's Jeremy, my husband, and then our daughter, her husband, and our 3-year-old live in the carriage house, and our niece lives, well, right now she's in her RV, and we're in the process of doing a winter build of a little house for her. So like the things that I don't get to do is I don't get to go to the swimming pool, which is like that's a huge hit. Hot tubs are, but I can't stand up in them, you know.
Right.
So, but the variation on a theme is I'm just kind of here, and it's been fairly painless, other than the fact that I don't get to see my son and family. Their children are in a school where they've made an agreement with the parents to be in a pod. And so that's what they're doing. And they have, so we don't get to see them, except, you know, we do FaceTime. Christmas, we're going to do a Zoom Nutcracker Suite. I believe it's the Pittsburgh Ballet or something is doing this big event, and you can sign up for it, and then you can, you know, watch this together.
Yeah.
Different places, which is kind of cool. And we're going to come together early and have dinner together on Zoom, and then watch the Nutcracker. This kind of these filler ins, you know, filling in places. And traditionally, our traditions are changing because this would be the third Christmas that my mother has been out of her body. She's around all over the place in terms of the essence and the spirit of her. But in terms of traditional things, it's like, oh, here we have this opportunity now to create new tradition or expand on the traditions that were there and move some out and some in. So it's, yeah, it's been very different. Although like the county that I'm in California, is shut down. I mean, you can get food at a restaurant, but it's takeout, those kinds of things. And there are, just in a couple of towns, they have this craziness where, you know, they want you to wear a mask even if you're outside. And, but mostly people are pretty honorable when they're going into a store and you're all, you know, close together. And I find that there's a responsiveness to spatial relationship that was never there before. People are developing this little 6-foot diameter circle around it. It's interesting. Our farmers markets are still going, but again, those are outdoors. And you know, life is been, like I say, it hasn't been a lot of change. Mostly for my daughter, whose husband is home, and there's was a 2-year-old, now a 3-year-old involved, and trying to work from home with that kind of activity has been challenging. But then it's just like he's got 7 acres to run around on, and he's got grandma and grandpa to go to, and so things are working out. I'm doing a lot of, I resist sitting in front of computers, right? So when it's sunny outside, man, I do not want to be. Well, now it's cloudy and it's cold, so I'm more indoors, but all the Zoom things that are possible, and I continue training and teaching in this martial art that I do, the Aikido. And so the difference for me is that I can go train literally all over the world now through this medium. That's been pretty fascinating. And I have a partner that I can train with. Most of the people that are training don't have, you know, a partner that they can grab onto and do this. But it's been challenging for me because, like I say, until 2 weeks ago, actually even yesterday when the sun was out bright and brilliant, I wanted to be outdoors and not sitting in front of a screen.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, Yeah. But it's really nice to see all of you here.
It is.
Yeah. I missed the trek, you know,
Yeah.
the little Washington DC trek, and it's beyond. I mean, like you were saying earlier, Jenny, it has a familiar and family kind of feel to it after all these years. Oh.
Oh yeah. Whenever, we get together for, bye Jerry, thank you.
Bye, Jerry.
Merry
Good to
Christmas.
see you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jerry.
Happy everything. I mean, what are there, 17 different holidays celebrated in this time between Thanksgiving and I think like the 15th of January? There's just this whole, all those people going, oh my gosh, it's getting dark. Oh my gosh, the light is back. Let's celebrate. Yeah.
Know what's really cool about it though, being home, you can research all of those different holidays and what they're all about. And like, I've been sitting on, things learning about all of these different holidays. Like you hear about Hanukkah, and I mean, I knew the basics of it, but watching, people celebrate that and the 8 nights, it's like you get to learn all of this new stuff and really appreciate what other people do.
Very true. Well, guys, we're slowly getting almost past our hour time frame. Not that we need to wrap up anytime soon, but I was told that Mickey Lewis might want to sing a Christmas song for us. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but if it is something you're interested in doing, we would love to hear from you before we close the meeting. So if you would like to, we would love to hear that song. So
I'll try. It's I haven't been singing much. That's normally what I do. That's my gift from God, is my voice. And I'd recorded a CD last year and things were going pretty good. And I had, bookings, and then COVID hit and it all stopped. And so, but yeah, I'll be glad to. This song is an older Christmas song, and by chance, and some of you may not be old enough to remember Sandy Patty. She's like the voice. She was my idol growing up. And this was on one of her Christmas albums, and it's like a lullaby that Mary is singing to baby Jesus. And it's just a very pretty song. It's different than most Christmas songs that are out there. So if my voice cracks, I apologize. Let me know if you can hear the music and stuff. So if I need to turn it down or whatever. When this night is over and the star has faded and the angels fly, I will look at you with wonder, dreaming of this first night when I heard you cry. Someday you'll take your tiny fingers and with just a touch will cause the blind to see. Someday you will walk with strangers, but tonight I'll rock you. Stay a while with me. Someday they will call you Savior, hope of all the people, light and life. Someday you will speak the words and touch the hearts of many as you now touch mine. You will speak in love and wisdom. Prison doors will open. We all will be set free. Someday you will walk among us, but tonight I'll rock you to stay a while with me. My son, let me rock you. Stay a while with me.
Beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Amazing. Nice job.
Thanks. It's my gift.
Absolutely.
I mean, and my grandparents taught me when God gives you a cross to bear, he gives you a gift to share. And they taught me to use my voice to be an inspiration to others. But sometimes I don't feel an inspiration, but like I'm an inspiration, but I try. So I feel like that we all need to bring awareness to what we go through on a daily basis. And Congress definitely needs to know what we go through. So,
Yeah.
but North Carolina has voted in a very young, he just turned 25, and he took Senator Mark Meadows' place in the Senate, and he's a paraplegic and in a wheelchair, and he is awesome. His name is Madison Cawthorn.
He is cool.
He is one.
I sent him a link to join us tonight, so we're going to get on him and try to get him involved in our group.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go to Washington or whenever to help be an advocate, because I even competed in the Miss Wheelchair North Carolina pageant in 2011 and 2012, and now I'm on the board. And so we are trying to figure out ways to break barriers down for people that have these disabilities. And, you know, whether it's, you know, you see a sign that says wheelchair accessible, please see inside, but there's a step to go up to get in. And I'm like, seriously, really? You know, so, and Asheville is not very accessible. I've lived in Asheville my whole life. Actually, I'm 30 minutes north of Asheville now, but I grew up there, and it's still not a very accessible city after all these years. And we have an older population, so they all walk with assistive devices. So.
Hey, I just want to wish everybody a happy holiday. I enjoyed listening in tonight.
Merry
And
Christmas.
here's to a very happy new year. Woohoo.
Yes. Here's to 2021.
Bye, everybody.
Yes, definitely.
Here we go, 21.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for a great night. And our next meeting is January 26th. So we would love to have you join. We're actually going to speak with Ben Huntsinger. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with him, but he's been a part of our group recently, and he actually designs outdoor type manual wheelchairs. They are pretty darn legit. So I'm actually looking forward to interviewing him and speaking with him. So that should be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, he's a great interviewer because I know I had him on my podcast and he did a fantastic job. He's awesome.
Exactly. He did great with you, Tina. So I'm really looking forward to having him on. So guys, mark your calendars, January 26th.
And if anybody wants to be part of the ramp, we're going to be booking for January and February. So if anybody wants to promote what they do, please message me because I'd love to have you on.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I have some friends that are really good friends with Madison Cawthorn, and I'll get in touch with them when we get off, and I'll make sure that Madison is aware of this group, and we would like for him to join us sometime.
Definitely. Yep. And I encourage y'all to volunteer to be on Tina's talk show. We did it last week for NARTS, and we had a blast. It's so much fun. So,
Tina, can you send me a link to your podcast, Tina?
Yeah, it's just right on my Facebook page, RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress. If you follow my page, you'll see the podcast. I have my last one for this year tomorrow night. I have an author who wrote a book about how to navigate through the system. His child has autism, so he wrote a book about it. So I'll be interviewing him tomorrow night, and then I'm off until the new year because I'll have no Wi-Fi after tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, there was a movie I caught on Netflix called Crip Camp, and it was from back in the 50s, 60s, and it was a camp in upper New York State and for kids with disabilities of all ages. And one of the ladies and this whole group, they hung out. I don't remember the senator's name, but they fought and fought. They even did like a sit-in, sleep-in thing in his office. Sorry, my dog is barking, sorry. And they got the ADA laws in place, the group of them from that camp. It's a really interesting movie. Some of it's hard to watch, but it is comical in places. So,
oh, I think it's a great movie, and a lot of my able-bodied friends that I advocate with have watched it, and it gave them a whole new outlook of what we've gone through the years to get where we are now. So it is a great movie for everybody to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Excellent.
Well, guys, I don't mean to be rude, but I have to hop off. If people want to stay on, I think everybody can. I just have to be up at 4 a.m. Denver time to go produce a show in the morning. So I got to pop off so I can go eat some dinner. But this has been a great time. I really appreciate everybody's time and participation. And good to see familiar faces. I miss all you guys, and good to see new faces. And happy holidays and happy 2021. And hopefully we have a good start to the year. So thank you guys very much, and hope to see you in January.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.